Welcome back. In order not to bore you to death while I roughed these pieces down, I've done that before turning on the camera. And at the moment you can see now I've got them down to something closer to a normal regular size. I like to use timbers that haven't been pre-cut to square, and if I use a square piece I'll often sand off the right angle corners on the belt sander. I just find that when I mount it up in the pen mandrel, which is this little device here, then it allows me to get a better grip on it. I'm not having the tool bang against that right angle corner all the time. Tools I use really are simply a small skew chisel and a small roughing gouge or spindle gouge if you prefer. These I find work best for small jobs like this. So let's finish shaping this off and get it all sanded up and polished, and then we can put it all together, and that'll be the final stage. So here we go. One of the things I like to tell people is keep in mind, as far as I can ascertain from some very experienced wood turners, there is no absolute right or wrong tool to use for any job. Basically use the tool that's going to do the job for you. I like to use a short tool rest for these small jobs. Nothing says I can't use a normal tool rest. From here, it's simply a matter of sanding it. I go from 80 grade down to 400 grade and even a little less. So here we go. Always like to stop the job periodically just to take a check, make sure I've actually got it pretty much the way I want it. Also keep in mind with these, the design of the pen is largely up to you. It's one of the unique items that you can produce fairly quickly and easily. And I like to put a little ridge here on the top piece because it helps clip onto the pocket a little bit better. But that's a personal thing. Nothing says you have to do it that way. As I'm sanding now, I'm starting to see this lovely little line of sheen along the top of the pen, and that tells me that we're really starting to get there as far as the sanding is concerned. That's the 400 grade. Now give it a little bit of a go with some quadruple steel wool. You can see that sheen really starts to kick up now. I'm just going to give it a bit of a check again. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now, one of the things I like to do is use this Ultra Shine, and it was described to me, not as a finish, but as your final sand. So from that point of view, it seems to work really well. So all I'm going to do is just rub a little bit on all over the job, and on the other end as well. It is not a hard wearing finish, so from that point of view it's no good. So now we'll just get it with the sand, a bit of pressure, and you can start to see that that line of shine really is starting to kick in now. And it's really just a grinding paste, I think. At least it seems to be that way. Take off the excess. Now it's time to put a hard wearing finish on it. And of course, my old friend Shallow Wax is the way to go. Shallow Wax gives us a quick finish. I could of course use any number of different finishes. I've seen pens done with Estopol, I've seen them done with super glue, believe it or not. One of our members used to do a lot of pens, and he always finished them with super glue. Gave him a beautiful, deep, hard wearing finish. I have a problem with it. I don't have the patience to do that. Okay, that shine now is really coming up there. It's time to apply some heat. Take off the excess. And voila. Now the thing about it is the wax is still probably a little bit soft. If I was to take that off the mandrel now, there's a very good chance I'd leave my fingerprints all over it. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes just to cool down, and then we'll go to the final stage, which is assembly, and I'll see you when we're ready to do that.